Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi. How's everyone doing tonight?
good. How are you?
We made it on air!
good.
Yay! Huh? Okay.
About 2 or 3 minutes over, but still, we made it either way. So, but
Hey, we made it.
welcome to another episode of Supernatural Talk. I'm your host, Nick Mulay. We got Brad with us once again, special guest host. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Hang on a second, guys. I'm having some internet issues. Damn it. I had to happen right at the start. Can you guys hear me all right?
I can hear you, but you're not moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not moving.
There we go.
Oh,
You kind of like move
guys,
and
can
then
you hear me?
freeze and move and then freeze.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Nick?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Things were working just.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Boogie,
I can
boogie,
hear you,
boogie.
but it's like going really slow on my side. I'm not sure what's going on.
I feel like the Verizon commercial.
Can you hear me now?
Good. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah, I could hear you guys, but I was having some trouble here. Okay, there we go. All right. Sounds like it's going back. Hopefully, it stays this way. So, anyways, welcome to another episode of Supernatural Talk. We have a very special guest tonight. One of my best friends, Mr. Don Elmi. Don, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Welcome,
And
Don.
Thank you.
Don, now here's your opportunity to finally meet Brad face to face after all the times he's commented all on your shows.
Oh, yeah. On the Fear Fans podcast.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
Don,
good.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. What you were going to say.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
good to finally see you, Brad.
Good to see you too.
What?
So,
I leaned
Don,
on- what the hell, woman?
Well, okay, so not only do my normal kids, everyday kids live here, but my daughter and granddaughter just moved back in. So I got a knock on the door. I said, "Hold on, let me see who it is first."
Okay, then. No comment. That's all I can really say. But, anyways, Don, since I've known you for so many years, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to ask questions for you because I know you so well. So, why don't you tell everyone else here on the show a little bit about yourself?
Well, I have studied film for, about 25 years now. And been a graduate of Western Kentucky University, bachelor's degree in film, and been running a YouTube channel for the past 7 years. I've been doing reaction videos and reviews, but now recently started up a podcast on this network called the Fear Fans Podcast. It's a horror podcast where we go over all kinds of, like, a variety of horror films. Like the last one we just did on Tuesday was focusing on the classic Halloween.
That was
You
a good
really
show.
do not look old enough to have been in the industry that long.
No, not in the industry that for 25 years. No, studied it for 25 years.
Still, no. You
It's
know,
okay. How old are
anything for
you?
25 years.
I'm sorry?
How old are you, if you don't mind us asking?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
Get-
How old are you?
How old am I?
She's
I am
asking.
30.
Okay. You
I loved Adrian's response.
I realize every time we have a guest on how old I am.
That's kind of where I was going with it. I'm thinking,
yeah.
when did
We
I
all
become
become
the
great
old
grandparents, Adrian.
Huh?
What?
Oh no, I'm not there, little shithead. You wait.
Alexa.
Adrian, when did we become the old ones in the group?
Alexa. I expect a lot of this. I always like joking around on this, including when Brad's on with the Alexa.
I got one of those.
Well, funny story, Nick.
This
Don,
little
you should not-
motherfucker's right
you-
there.
Don, you shouldn't have said that because you know what Brad's going to do now, right?
Nick, we were in bed last night at 12:30, and just out of the blue, our Alexa said something and started playing music.
Oh, jeez.
Payback. That is payback.
Jeremy saying, shall we change Adrian's name to her former nickname?
What?
She can explain that.
Okay.
No, this little sucker sits right here by the computer, and Brad says it, and this sucker goes off every show.
Well,
Alexa, play some music.
yeah. How can I work on mine?
What former nickname? Let's discuss this one.
That's what I was talking about. That he just
I have
wrote
lots
that.
of nicknames. Let's
Is
start.
it gummy
from-
bear?
What are we talking about?
Gummy bears.
Depends on who you are. It starts from bitch to God knows what. Ghost Granny. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about all
Fred's
that,
gone.
but I think I got rid of that page. I think. I don't know.
So
I tried to get yours to go off, Adrian, and ours went off.
Yeah, the person that gave me that nickname, I don't know what happened to that person either, but you know.
Yeah, my Echo Dot's out of range, so it won't work, Brad.
Well, was
Yeah,
it last week?
I've got one in every room.
Pickle Tom,
and
what's up?
Sometimes I
He's
get very
watching.
annoyed.
What's up, Tom?
We do too, and we let Dad. He I don't know, like music from 40s comes on that thing. Like, what is
Seriously?
this? He's just back there dancing. Oh my God! I'm gonna take this thing away. I'm gonna take it away.
So, Don,
So-
where do you
Yes.
live?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, he's only like 20 minutes away from me, so he's not even that far.
Yeah.
So, and Don and I, if you guys haven't, if you guys haven't heard a lot about him
You do
too,
that.
Don and I, we've known each other for, Don, how many years now? 15 years, maybe a little bit more than that.
18.
18 years. There you go. So almost 20 years. First time we ever met was Don. I'd rather let you tell the story. So why don't you tell about how you and I met for the first time 18 years ago?
Well, it was way back in 2004.
Here's turn the portal.
What's fine?
You want to cut so this is
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead. You're good.
Okay. We met way back in 2004 when my mom and his mom talked on online through a autism organization, and where they both said that both me and Nick are like horror stuff, supernatural paranormal stuff, and so they decided that we should all do a meetup on a Chicago ghost tour where goes over all the haunted sites, including the alleyway where the St. Valentine's Day massacre took place. And so me and Nick met on that tour. We were like 12 at the time, and I remember us eating all of us eating lunch together over at the Hard Rock Cafe downtown.
I think you were 13. I was going on 12, so it was right around that age. I think it was
somewhere
around there. Yeah, our preteen years.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, Marilyn, thank you. Tom,
Thanks, Meryl.
hey. Angelina, hey. Okay, so you said your mom did something with autism?
No, that my mom would talk to his mom through a autism family, some sort of a website that connects families who have autistic children, because that's what I am. I'm actually a high functioning.
What?
Yep, I'm high
Yeah,
functioning.
he is. Yep.
Asperger's syndrome.
Oh
Just
my
like-
God. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep, diagnosed 4 years old.
Okay, so you have Asperger's and autism.
Yes.
Wow, that's something that's almost unheard of.
It's on the spectrum of autism, like Asperger's syndrome. It falls under that. Yeah, and when I was 5 years old, I saw Jaws on TV, and that's what caused me to study film. I've been like that's the thing with me. There's this part of my autism that allows me to absorb visual media. Like I could just basically like permanently remember any film, any show or website or video game that I channel my focus on. So yeah, I've been just
That
called.
makes sense.
So
That makes sense now.
Yep. So
my
I
boy
figured.
that was just here, Andrew. He can name every baseball player that ever crossed that field. I don't give a damn what team they're on. Oh, that number is this person. He's got this many.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Don's autistic as well. Yeah. And you already know that. So
That's
one
right.
of the things you can do, if you put your mind to doing it,
I love you.
I love you too, but God, dude. All right, go finish. But yeah, I mean, like, he can remember any of those things. Comes to math, he couldn't tell you 1 + 1. I'm like, how do you remember this, but you don't get this? And he's like, I don't know.
Because he doesn't care about it.
No, he might actually be on the Asperger's scale as well.
When I was in middle
Nobody
school,
took the time to diagnose him, really.
They did.
I had a friend like that in middle school. He could name like every World Series, who won, who hit what, and he just all the baseball stuff.
Can I tell you?
No, you
Can I
cannot.
tell you what I was Boy, your Broncos are
Oh
on.
my God. Yeah, your Broncos are on. Go tell me who's who.
Oh, Tom McNicholas is here, and he's made a really good point about our show. He's noticed this. I'm surprised no one else has seen this. Yeah.
Nick and Dawn are the first live host team with autism on any network. As far as I know, yes. But you know what's funny is I knew Nick over a year before I had any clue that he was anywhere on that spectrum. So I'm not going to go that far as to say that that's true, because there may be many people out there that we don't know and they haven't said it. And it's not just like popping out at you with a big old, red sign on their forehead that says, hey, I'm autistic, or hey, I have, Asperger's, any of that.
Oh yeah,
They might not have come out, but they also may not have been diagnosed either.
Right.
could be
True.
true. Yeah.
We have lots of, I think, what is his name? He is on Ghost Hunters, Brandon Alvis.
Oh, Brandon, yeah.
I wonder about him sometimes. He's so brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant with his stuff, his the way he does his film, the way he does everything scientifically. I have to wonder, is he?
That's a
And
very
some
good
of the
question.
things he says are like, there's no filter. I have no filter because, well, we all know me. I have no excuse. It's just me. But, with him, he can talk to somebody and it makes it sound like he's talking down to them. But I don't think he actually sees that he is. I think he's just trying to talk to him and doesn't come across how he's coming across, except for people that know him.
Well, and I was
don't
going
know.
to actually ask you, because I saw the Jaws poster behind you, and obviously it has significance to you, but you answered that question.
Well, it's also because my dad gave me that poster when I was when I was about 13. So, and I had I said, when I got this condo, I wanted to have a big enough shelf to set up with my entire film collection, and also I decided it would be best to put the poster next to it, so it's kind of symbolic in a way. It shows the poster of the film that started all this.
That's awesome.
And,
That's awesome.
Yeah, from any one of these, I can tell you the year it was made, the people who made it, who starred in it, what Oscars it won.
Oh, wow.
I can't tell you what year I was born half the time.
Look, someone asked me the other day how old I was.
Hey,
I had to ask someone else. It's like, wait, what year were you born? They told me, I said, how old are you? And they said, oh, that's okay. So that makes me. And I had to tell them how old I was.
What? Tom, what?
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. Nick has it until he comes out with a corn cob tipped in Gorilla Glue.
Again with that joke.
I
Oh
have
my God.
yet to have him do that, so we're okay there.
When it comes to
Now we just need to get you a Jaws revenge poster.
yeah, never, not a billion years. I did a review on that film years ago, expressing my complete disdain for that film. Like me and Nick did it. Me and Nick did that review, and I vowed that review to be my final goodbye to that film. I'm never seeing it again, ever.
Well, I like this comment Jeremy said. When it comes to the spectrum, they usually are gifted in that one thing.
They are, yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
And
they often are.
okay, like Dawn, his is like the movies and the years and anything that happens there. It's like a photographic memory almost.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I don't know what his is. We're still learning because this is my first go around with this, and I'm like, what the hell do I need to do to get this through your head? Because he is so brilliant on so many things. I can't get him to turn his clothes right side out. What the fuck, dude?
I like this comment,
Well-
Jeremy. I can't, Adrian. You were born in 19 something.
I thought it was the 1800s.
Oh,
You wait. I got you. You wait.
Oh, you got your bird with you.
Well,
you're going to say something
Hey,
about
little
that.
birdie, bite his ass and go, asshole. Say, asshole.
oh, parrot.
Asshole.
Come here. Come on.
Say, asshole.
What parrot? What
Is
kind
that
of
a
parrot is that?
budgie?
It's a blue fronted Amazon.
Oh, okay.
nice.
I can't see the rest of him.
Hey, if you want a parrot that says words, you just get an African gray parrot. Those are like said to be like the smartest of them.
Yes, Jeremy, I can.
They are
And-
smart.
And
They don't
it's
take our shows down. Don't ask me why. Anybody that comments, they'll take that shit down. But they will not take our shows down no matter what we say or do.
I know.
Come here.
It's crazy.
and it's not just film that I remember. It's also like
Where are
they
you
have like
going?
certain web pages that like if I did for projects and for schools, yeah, like I still remember them. And
Might as well
let's
take
see,
it.
I've watched there's documentaries that I remember. There's
You want
like
taxi?
a long list of things.
Have you
You
watched
think-
that new Dahmer documentary?
Dahmer, I've wanted to see it.
Oh.
I've yet to see it because there's like so many other things I needed to get caught up on. Still like staying caught up on Cobra Kai and everybody saying watch the new Hocus Pocus too. Everybody, like all
Yeah.
this going on. It's just been
Cobra Kai is awesome. I did like it.
No,
It is.
Some of the, and some of the things I'm
watching
kind of sorry, I was gonna say some of the things I'm actually watching with Don on some of this stuff. So I'm
I tell
actually
you what,
keeping up with him.
I watched Dahmer and I've been looking at the Facebook, reviews on it. And one person actually said, it was great, except for the end where they had one scene with, I don't remember who, but it was wrong. That scene was wrong. And that person was like, no, that's wrong.
well, now I
Like-
will tell you, of course, I'm that idiot that after watching something that's supposed to be real, I go and research stuff. I did not know that the family of the victims did not know that that film was coming out until everyone else knew it was coming out. And the scene, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the court scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. That was verbatim what she did and said. And
I
even down
watched
to what
the
she wore.
real thing, and I watched the show and then the real thing of her doing that. And it was exact. It was awesome. That lady was amazing. But
no, the family
know-
is not. The family of the victims are not happy about the release of that one or the one that gets released. What is it, tomorrow?
oh, I didn't know about that.
It's
I didn't
the
know
tape.
anything about that either.
The what?
The tapes, the Dahmer tapes get released
Oh.
tomorrow on Netflix.
I didn't
think it's
know anything
tomorrow.
about that. But
that's gonna stir everybody up.
They're
it
just-
is-
yeah.
it's
What's up,
gotta be
Rosie?
hard. I mean,
I mean, a depiction of like, of course, it's going to stir up the survivors of these, the families of these victims because the things that Dahmer did, I mean, everything he's done that put, the horrific crimes puts him right up there with Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, and John Wayne Gacy.
Yep.
Yeah.
and then we had people like there's a couple of I won't name names, but
Rosie.
there's a couple of our investigators that are on TV and on YouTube that have investigated these places and gotten, some kind of evidence that they put out there. And, so I went from watching the real, what happened to the show to the documentaries of all the serial killers. Now I'm on all those because once you watch one, they all come across there. Hey, watch this one. Hey, watch John Wayne Gacy. Watch this. So I'm like, oh, I'm watching all these. But the thing with Dahmer that got me was he never acted remorseful. He said, I wanted you to kill me. He said,
being from Wisconsin, I
can't
remember all that on the news.
Wisconsin, huh?
Yep.
I watched that damn trial today live of that
Really?
guy that hit the people those 9-10 people that died during the Christmas parade.
Oh, yeah.
Darrell Brooks, is that his name? Something like that. It's unreal. He's standing there screaming because he's representing himself and they're letting him. That judge is so patient. I just love her. She's like giving him no reason to do a retrial ever. She's like, look, you need to stop, please. For an hour, she was like, please don't interrupt me. Please don't do this.
Well, there was one day they had to have 10 recesses and send him back to his cell and do it virtually.
I really wish they would, but she's given him no reason because he's going to get the death penalty. And she's given him no reason for a retrial whatsoever. And if you ever see it, this judge is she's beautiful. Like she's really young. She's sweet. She's very pretty. And you just want to say, just kick him out of there. Just tell him to go to hell and be done with it. But I know why she's not doing it, because he'll have a retrial and it'll be a mistrial and they'll let him out. But this man,
going to try using he represented himself to have a mistrial.
Right. And I think that's what he's doing. He's got a jailhouse lawyer thing going on right now. But the fact is, he killed 9 people driving over the top of them. And before that, he tried to kill his wife and his baby, or his baby mama and the baby.
Jeez.
So, he's done. He's done. He's not a human fit for society. He's done.
Yeah, he is. The man has no business being in public around anybody.
Nope.
That's when that happened.
Very completely
out.
Yes, Jeremy, that's the same
dangerous. Let me see.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. Seriously?
Yes, because the judge told him. She said, "Please go put your suit on. Go put street clothes on, because we don't want the jury to decide differently because you're in jail clothes. Go put your damn suit on." And he's like, "I have the right to wear what I want to, and this is what I want to wear." And she's like,
wow.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you this because a lot of times the jury does not know who is on trial. And even though they see you, they don't know it's you. So you need to, rethink that. And he's like, "No, it's on the media. It doesn't matter." She's like, "Okay."
Guy sounds like a real nutcase.
Yeah, he really does. Like, it's like he's not even willing to listen to anyone, even when he's now officially basically under their control and power. It's like he still thinks that he could do whatever the hell he wants.
He does. And he's just a terrible, terrible person. Do you guys think Dahmer killed the Walsh boy?
Boy.
I don't know enough to even have an opinion on that, but he killed so many that I would pin it on him no matter what.
I mean, he has been suspected for several other unsolved murder cases, so it's highly possible that he might have been, even though still to this day there is no evidence, like true evidence, to show that he actually had done it, but it's very likely a possibility.
Right, and that's what she said. That's somebody who doesn't care what happens to him in court. He does care what happens to him. The thing is, that's a new thing that they're doing, is the distraction in court. Constant distraction, so that they'll kick him out and they'll have to do a retrial. And this this judge is not buying it. I mean, she's just like so patient. She's not going to allow a retrial. When he gets hung, he's done.
The only reason
Yeah.
I would say I don't really feel he was, unless he just honestly forgot everybody he killed, he was so open. I mean, about it, about who he did kill. So that kind of makes me question the other victim, anybody else that they suspect, just because he was so open about it. But I mean, he wanted to die. Why not?
Yeah.
Make people want to kill you. More people want to kill you.
I mean, I do think that he tried. He really tried to remember everybody he's killed, everything he's done to him. It's got to. I mean, you have to, as a human, disassociate yourself from what you're doing to be able to even do something like that. So if he can disassociate enough to hurt somebody because he supposedly loved those people and didn't want them to leave him, and that's why he ate them, which I don't even know. But if you can disassociate yourself enough to do that, you can disassociate enough to not know who all you killed.
At that point, you're just not. You have no humanity.
Not at all.
Nope.
His poor dad. I felt so bad for him in that show because he was like, "What did I do wrong?" He said, "I could have done this. I could have done this. I should have done this." And his mom tried to kill herself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Jeffrey Dahmer really stands out from a lot of the other serial killers because unlike most serial killers who, yes, understandably, they may have had, they were probably abused when they were children or something truly traumatic happened to them. They were beaten, whatever. But from what I've heard from the cases was with Jeffrey Dahmer, well, I didn't know that they didn't prove that he was homosexual.
Right.
They weren't, while they didn't prove that, they didn't really abuse him or anything like that. I mean, there were times they kept their distance because they probably just didn't approve of his sexuality. But other than that, it sounded like he grew up with normal parents.
He did.
I wouldn't go that far.
He did. The mom, she did leave him, but he was 18. He was 18 when she left and said, "You know what? Fend for yourself. I'm done." Which is her prerogative to leave her husband, and he was grown. So, she's done her job now.
But even as a mom, even if my child was still in school, I don't care how old they are, I could not turn my back on my children.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a child. I mean, he was like very distant from his parents. He wasn't somebody you'd want to be around to begin with. Like, he was so weird. And his grandma tried so hard.
And
She
Jenny
saved one.
Jenny, on to Jenny's comment, one thing I told people was, if everything in the documentary is as close to accurate as possible, okay?
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with him loving to dissect the taxidermy, things like that, I would have just thought my child would have been a good surgeon one day.
Right, and his dad did. He was like, in the movie, I don't know whether it really happened, but in the show, he was like, if I had never taught him that, to hurt an animal, which he really didn't. He was doing taxidermy. He didn't teach him to hurt an animal. But how many taxidermist kids are out there that either took on the family business and can lead productive lives and not kill anybody?
I mean, what's the difference in taxidermy per se versus, I mean, I used to date a guy, his family owned a deer processing plant. I walk in there and he is gutting a deer. I mean, how many kids, especially down here in the South, are taught as soon as they can pretty much walk how to, do a deer?
Yeah.
She very well could have passed on some mental issues. That's as hereditary as, having grandmother, mother, great grandmother who were mediums or, whatever else that people claim is passed down. I don't know.
It's not even just I just got to put this out. It's not even just also the mental issues. I mean, there's kind of a partial, what am I thinking of? I guess really, and I know it sounds crazy, but there's like one part about him that you actually sometimes feel just a little bit bad for, especially for, well, no, I was going to say.
I got made fun of for saying that.
No, what I was going to say was, when he was younger, if the parents weren't really there for him, especially when they found out like his sexuality and how, it wasn't as accepted, especially back in those days, then you really have to have someone, step up to the plate. If and that was his fantasy with these murder victims, these victims, because he was looking for people who wouldn't leave him. If he basically grew up in school, maybe met another person who was gay or someone who could understand him, and basically just could put his arm around, give him a hug, and say, "Let's hang out." That would have probably really changed a lot, not only for himself but for his family, and of course, all his would have been, his would be victims.
And
And
he
not
was
that
right.
Dawn or Nick would know this, but back in the day, that it really was, you did not have a lot of support system. So that, like you were saying, Nick, that one person could have changed his entire life by saying, you are normal for the way you feel.
Right.
And that would be, just if he would have just heard those words, would he, like you were saying, would he have gone that far? Because nowadays you walk down the street, two guys or two girls, whatever, holding hands.
Yeah.
And heck, now we got people who want to be cats, who identify as cats.
Yeah.
And but back then, I remember one of my best friends in the 80s and 90s, that was one reason I had so much respect for him, was because he never cared what anyone else thought. He was going to be him. And and you just don't, you didn't really get the support a lot back then for that.
Jenny, I
Right.
do believe that could have helped. Now, I don't know, back then how much science
Say,
do with the brain. I don't know. But what you were saying right there, that could be a part of it. And of course, it's something we'll never know. But there was gay bars where he was going.
yeah, but it was still, you could never.
It
You
wasn't
had to
acceptable.
hide a part of yourself.
Right.
Right, but there still was a place you could go and be yourself with all those other people.
Think about, like, if you are a psychic or medium or whatever, and you were sitting in class and all these spirits came up to you in class, how bad would that have been? And I'm sure a lot of people went through that. So that's why I use that example. A lot of people that watch this. How bad, flipping what the scenario would have been, how much different would someone that went through that in school be today if someone would have said, you're normal. You're just a little different than most people, but you're normal.
Right. And that would be huge to hear for anyone. It doesn't matter what it was they went through or are different somehow in some way. And that's what I'm always telling Andrew. I'm like, the teachers are not going to give you the damn answers. You are smarter than this, and it's not going to happen. You will graduate on your own merits. You're not going to graduate because they're just going to push you through there. You'll be there next year. I don't give a damn because you're smarter than this. He's like,
so Dawn, as we're sitting here talking about like Dahmer and all this, I know you're big into movies.
Yep.
Do you find interest in more like horror and scary stories that are made up, or do you find more interesting in real life scenarios?
Well, both are very, very compelling. Like true stories are interesting because of it just makes you think, wow, there really are people like that out there in this world. It's like, jeez, man. And the way they adapted to film, like gives you like an idea of like how it happened. Like they just play it out on the screen. I remember years ago I saw like this mini series. I think it was called Small Sacrifices, which focused on a real life serial killer who's still alive today. What was her name? Diane Downs, where she had tried to kill all three of her children because she had a boyfriend who didn't want to be a dad. So she thought she'd just get rid of the children to be with him. But the children, two out of her three children survived, and she was sentenced to life. So and the fact that she's played by Farrah Fawcett in the film is what made me want to watch it. So I was thinking, Farrah Fawcett playing a killer. Okay, this could be interesting.
Yeah,
So do
I
you have?
thought Farrah Fawcett could play me.
yeah, you were right too, Bo. It
back
was
in the day.
Diane Down. It was Diane Downs. You were right, Don.
I knew it.
Do you have a certain
So
movie,
yeah,
Don, that
I
you'll
looked
never
it
get
up
sick of?
for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brad. What did you say?
Do you have a certain movie that you'll never get sick of watching? Like if there's
Uh,
one movie you could take on a deserted
Besides-
island with you.
Besides
Oh
Jaws.
boy.
I know there's quite a few films. There are quite a few films that are better than Jaws.
One movie to go on a deserted island with you, what would it be? Jaws Revenge?
I knew you were going to say that. He would probably throw that in the sea to be eaten by the real sharks.
Yeah.
They'll eat that with a heartbeat.
Oh, wait, just thought of something.
Man, if I was able to Photoshop something like that, I would send that to you in a heartbit, Brad. The
What is that?
Matrix.
The
Oh,
Matrix.
Matrix, yes.
Matrix.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Very,
can.
very mind-bending story. Brilliant acting by Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne, and love the cinematography, the action. This movie was amazing when it first came out.
It was groundbreaking.
It was amazing when it first came out in 1999, and it's still amazing today.
Yes.
I can't say that much for the sequels, though.
I'm about to say most
don't know like
sequels are just shooting for the stars, and they tend to not do it.
And Keanu Reeves still shows good skill today.
You were
Yes.
right.
And I'm gonna tell you, he is one of my most respected actors. Like I respect the heck out of that man.
Oh yeah, from what I've heard, he's a very nice guy in real life, and apparently he has donated like a lot of what he's made up from his movies. He has donated to charities, and
Yep.
yeah, like I've seen him.
What was it that happened in his personal life that he donates to most of the charities because of?
Ooh, yeah, there's quite a few that. Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of charities he's been.
I'm trying to see. There's something like his sister or something, or
Oh, his sister. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna look it up. Y'all keep talking.
Okay.
I was going to
when he
read this
first
one.
made- Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, what, Brad?
I was gonna say when he did the Matrix, he donated a lot of his pay to getting his stuntmen motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
And he
I
was.
was gonna say Jeremy was saying Don is struggling to find a movie in that small collection. Imagine how much I struggle going through. He is so Don. We got to bring you over to Jeremy's house. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
There
And,
is nothing about Jeremy that surprises any of us.
What about
But,
you, Nick? One movie to sit on a desert island with.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
a deserted island that somehow has power for you to
Yes.
run a TV and a Blu-ray player.
Stranger things have happened.
I mean,
What
I'm
Tom
gonna have to-
just said, absolutely true. Because, yeah, that one.
Yep.
Because, you know, you can watch a movie and it says documentary, but that does not mean that it's the whole truth. And I had to find that out the hard way, arguing with people going, no, that's what it said. But,
They put it
Yeah.
in really small print based on actual events.
right.
Right.
And some things might be changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
they have
So-
to make it fun for everybody to entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh,
So being in this field, I've met enough people who are on TV. I filmed, you know, one episode of Haunted Hospitals. I can promise you there's that much of it real. And the rest is, oh, you have to do this. Oh, really? Is this what happened? Oh, but do you
Yeah.
think maybe this happened? No. I don't think that happened. Why do we need to make it something it's not?
Right, and
Yeah.
a lot of the paranormal shows are doing that nowadays.
Yeah,
It's-
and that's
it's
why I
taken
did.
away.
It is, and I
You know-
I asked him to not air that episode. I don't know if
I
they
would
will
have
or
done the
not.
same. I would have done the same thing too, because you know there was like I can think of another good example of something like that. It's like one of the shows to one of the episodes of the show Paranormal Witness. It was the one where they dealt with something called the Boo Hag, and there was a scene where you know they're talking about their story, and they you guys might have seen this episode, so you guys probably know exactly where I'm going with this, where they come across the attic door, it's completely locked up, and then they open it up and they walk away. And then next thing you know, as they walk away, the door opens, and you see these evil eyes coming out, peering out through the attic door. And I'm even thinking to myself, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what they were. They probably never saw anything like that.
Yeah.
It was called the Boo Hag.
Yeah.
It's a witch legend.
Uh-huh.
It's
Oh, so they're talking about my ex-wife.
She's gonna come kill you one day. I'm telling you.
You better hope she never sees this.
Yeah.
You care less.
It's a regional to me, fun times. Well, here's the thing though. And that's why I think a lot of people watch these kind of shows. They watch like YouTube, where it's not quite as edited as the TV is. I saw the other day they got
Don't,
Zach
Jeremy.
Bagans coming back on. Anybody that knows me knows I don't give a shit about Zach. I am so done with his bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
And
too.
they got him coming back going bigger and better than ever. And he's screaming things. And I'm like, there's no way. I cannot sit through a show. There's no way. But that's why a lot more of us are doing things like this, to where we can put people on, get their experiences, firsthand. They can tell it without having to be edited or without having to be, oh, no, don't you think this might have happened? Why don't you say it that way? Because that's not what happened.
I could see Don being very helpful on investigation if he can remember like so many details.
Yeah.
That if you take him on an investigation, it's not, oh wait, did that happen? I could just see it just sticking more with you and you being a very helpful link on an investigation.
I can try my best.
Have you done any investigations, Don?
I was gonna ask that.
Oh yes, I've done investigations with Nick, and I remember one of my favorite ones is when we were at that jail where they kept John Dillinger.
The old Lake County Crown
Yep.
Point Jail.
Okay.
Crown
okay.
Point. Yeah, that's what that
Crown
was.
Point.
Crown Point.
I've heard
Yep.
a lot about that place.
It's
And-
amazing.
Yeah, like
Everybody says that. Yes.
yeah, I just always got to remember when at the top floor, you got to watch your step because there's all kinds of rusted jail bars that have like dilapidated. You could trip on them, and
Yep.
and
Typical places like that.
oh yeah, but it's a very creepy place.
Anthony. Okay. Anita. Okay, I was going to get to that one. Anita. Yes. But if you have ever been asked to be on a show and they give you the contract to sign, it does say in no uncertain terms that you will fake evidence if you don't find it, because they're not going to pay for you to travel around the world if you're not getting anything. And as investigators, we know we might get something 1 out of 50 places we go, and they can't afford to pay for that. So they pretty much have you sign something saying you're going to fake it.
Well, wasn't there a scandal with one of the ghost hunters from the Ghost Hunters show where he got caught faking evidence?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
there was.
A couple of times.
But, and that's why Mustafa, he's like, nope. He said, this is, I do this. And he's somebody I will always highly, highly talk of, because we went to Salina. He was supposed to be paid a certain amount of money
Yes,
to
I remember that.
be the celebrity. And
Yep.
he was not paid that amount of money. And he never said a word. I
never
mean, he
did.
was like, you know what? Give my part to the temple. I don't care. Leave it at that. We're going to let it go. And how
He
many
was just so
celebrities
open about it.
do that? Yes. And he never once put it out on social media that he wasn't paid, that
He didn't
he helped the
complain?
temple. He just walked away. He was like, I will help you get, the publicity you need. And he walked away. He never once acted like, he was jaded, and he was promised a certain amount and he didn't get it.
But you know what? The entire time, as far as from what I saw, he was having a great time.
He loved that location. I
He
mean,
did.
we talked about it afterwards, and he was like, I cannot wait to get back, and da.
And the funny thing is, I was put in charge of making sure that the celebrity was taken care of and comfortable when he got there. Okay, this is my first rodeo, and I'm going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not kissing somebody's ass because they're a celebrity. I'll treat them like anybody else. I don't know what to tell you.
And that's all. And most of them, well, I'm going to say most of them. The ones I know, I'll put it that way.
That's all they want.
I can see Adrian going, Mama
Adrian.
Adrian on his ass.
Yeah, I'm like, he would text me. He's like, my plane is late. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. And I'm like, get here when you get here. And he was like, I landed. I'm here. So I was texting him the whole time. And he said, I haven't had sleep. I'm tired. It's a long time before we do the world's largest ghost hunt. So go ahead and take a nap, do something. And he did not. He
fell
people
asleep
wanted to see him.
at the temple.
Yeah. He knew people wanted to see him, and he came down and he talked to everybody, and he didn't once act like he was tired or anything. What was really awesome about Mustafa was several months later at an event at the temple, he did the whistle experience. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He will listen to anyone. If they have a good idea, he's like, you know what? Let's try this. He does not think he's better than anybody else. He's just not that way. And
No,
he's
he's not.
one of very few that are that way.
Jeremy, I wish you would have been there that day because he, when I went to give him the dog whistle, he's like, no. So he made me get out on one knee to give him the dog whistle. He is so fun and delicate. You haven't seen that picture?
No, I did not. What the hell?
So I went up, I was like, hey, I got something for you. And
That's
I gave
I
him
gotta
the
see.
dog whistle because he was intrigued. Jeremy and I had worked on it to at the temple the first time.
Yep.
And so he was intrigued by it. So I gave it to him. He goes, And so I had to get down on one knee and give him a dog whistle.
It sounds like it's like you're proposing. It almost looks like
That's the
you're
way I
proposing.
ended up making it like.
I just picture that. Will you blow this? Will you blow this whistle for me?
I guess he knows who he can do that to because that whistle would have been shoved somewhere. He would whistle every time he farted because that
All right,
trying to
so
see if I
what
can
Jenny
find
say?
it.
There's a location I do here.
Event, I'll be in every
Ireland.
night to do a half-hour investigation for him, show him what we do. Jenny, are you able to like live stream that or record it in any way so we can see?
Yeah, you should do that, Jenny.
She goes to some awesome places. She does.
Oh my God, she does, and I'm hoping to get out to. I'm hoping to head out to Ireland. I'm hoping to head out to Ireland next year to meet up with her so I can go to these locations.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh my!
I can't imagine the plane tickets.
Yeah. Well, first things first is I'm waiting to get my U.S. passport, so I can't go anywhere until that comes. But it's
You can
it's
go
come together.
that way. You can't come back this way.
Exactly. I was just about to say it's easy to go the other countries. It's coming back. That's the biggest problem.
Okay, Jenny.
Jenny just said, damn it, why is the map?
Understandable.
Okay. Okay.
She does some
You
awesome
have a
things. I
list
love
of
her.
20 favorite horror
Amazing.
movies. What about a list of your favorite horror franchises? Is this question for Don? Jeremy?
Franchise, it's got to
Jenny.
be, yeah. It's got to be.
What about a list of your favorite horror franchises? I don't have that, but I do have a list of like all-time favorite horror films. I could pull that up here. Yeah, but I could show you what Jeremy is talking about here. Hang on.
Yeah, it should have been for Don.
Yep, it was definitely for me. Hang on.
We know what you meant. It's all right.
Let's see. Where is it?
I can't wait for him to get back.
I don't know if you could see it, but
it's a little bit
I
hard to
cannot
see.
see. Read it for us.
okay. Let's see. Number one, Alien from 19. Let's see. Yeah, number one is Alien. Number two is Psycho, the 1960 version, not that terrible remake with Vince Vaughn. No, hell to the no. Let's see. John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982, Halloween 1978, Silence of the Lambs, The Dawn of the Dead from 1978. Man, several good horror films came out in 1978.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nightmare on Elm Street, original one. The Evil Dead, The Exorcist, American Werewolf in London, The Shining, Night of the Living Dead, The Conjuring, The Return of the Living Dead. Let's see. The Omen, Wreck, To the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Frankenstein, A Quiet Place, and Saw. Those are my top 20.
I don't see Jaws.
Okay.
I didn't hear Jaws Revenge on there.
It's somewhere in the bottom 10, the worst. The 10
I
worst
want
ones.
to know.
There actually is a horror film that I hate more than Jaws of Revenge. And
Really?
You know what that is, Nick?
Which one is that?
You ever heard of this filmmaker named Uwe Boll?
It does sound a little familiar.
He's
but...
a filmmaker who is mostly known for making video game movies, and all of them are absolutely terrible. Like he puts like zero effort and creativity, and it's just basically doing it to take advantage of German tax loopholes, which reward his investments. And so anyway, the worst thing one he made by far is House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. I know I've heard of it, but I never saw it though.
Yeah. House of the Dead released in 2003. That movie is freaking horrible.
Jeremy saying no Friday the 13th. Shame.
Well,
Sorry, guys, I'm looking for that picture. I don't know.
yeah, I got to see this picture.
How is
I'm
that?
gonna say
Would you
Jeremy.
like an egg?
Huh?
How is that? How is that?
Is it breakfast time where you're at? I don't know what the hell's going on there.
I don't know what that means.
it's almost 8 o'clock where 8 p.m. where I'm at.
What the hell is
That's
that?
where I am.
What part do you know? I don't know what Jenny's meaning by this either. I don't know. I have no idea what Anthony and I have no idea what Anita and Jenny are talking about. So we're just gonna move forward.
Yeah.
House of the Dead. Felt like I was watching a music
Why
video.
is your face in there?
I'm gonna have to see if I can watch that. I haven't watched that yet.
Prepare to be appalled by what you are seeing. You know, terrible cinematography. The acting is a joke. The dialogue is horrid.
Wow.
Isn't that most horror movies though?
No, you haven't seen anything until you've seen this. Like there was this. They were finally saying to the one main zombie. He was like, "You created all this so you could be immortal. Why?" And he says, "To live forever." And I'm like,
All right, take your butt.
That's one of the worst pieces of dialogue I ever heard in my entire life.
I'm just sitting here.
Jenny, you were what did you say? I was trying to figure out what did you mean by what part do you know? I wasn't sure what you were talking about.
We're gonna have
I'll be right back.
crappy noodles.
What?
We're gonna have crappy mac and cheese tonight.
Who told you that?
Zach.
Come on.
Okay, so we gotta wait now for Adrian and Brad. Eileen, are you still looking for that
I'm
picture?
still here. I'm about to send it to you, Nick.
Oh, I got my phone ready. I'm already.
Okay, so while we're looking at this, I want to know, since everybody here is such a movie buff, so let's think back on like Men in Black or Star Trek.
Yeah.
Never watched Star Trek.
Well, here's the thing though. What I've noticed, and if you haven't noticed, I'm older than all of y'all. So when
Hi,
Star
Wayne.
Trek came out, or even Men in Black came out, some of the things that were on that show, hi David,
What's
are
up, David?
not they're things that had not been heard of yet. Now maybe they were heard in the military. I don't know. Maybe it was experiments they were doing in the military. When Star Trek came out, there's things on there you can look at now and go, that's cell phones they were talking about. They're doing like cell phones or time travel or a lot of those things. It's like, how did they know that would happen now? A lot of those things are happening now.
Well, look at the next generation. They had the little data pads. Now you have tablets.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's things that are like, what the hell? Submarines. When they first came out, there was somebody that had drawn one of those and did the schematics like years before. how did they know that was good? You know, they couldn't
Well,
make that work back then.
Well, look at this. They had a submarine in Civil War.
And I was watching a show the other day, and it's supposed to be like a reality type thing. And they were talking about seeing Men in Black. And I'm talking, this is lots of people. They were talking about Lake Champlain, the Champ.
Champ. Yep. What's up, Donald?
Hey, Donald.
They were like,
Oh my gosh. I have to deal with Donald in a couple of weeks.
how are
Well,
you
we
in
got
the
to deal with
business
you right
doing?
now, Eileen.
Whatever, Brad. I've been nice to you.
But yeah, it's one of those things like, they were seeing Men in Black. And those people did not go away until all the reporters went away for that Champ thing back when it first
I was
started.
going to ask you, Eileen.
So how are these people even, where are
I
they
can
coming
show you
from?
freaking
Do they
one,
really
Jeremy.
exist? I don't know.
Oh, the neuralizer. That's what you
Right.
want, Jeremy?
And that's what they were talking about, Jeremy, in this
Yeah.
show.
I wish I had a neuralizer so I could forget Jaws the Revenge and House of the Dead.
If you forgot about it, we can get you to watch it again. Because you wouldn't know how bad it was. Make you
Okay,
forget-
good
make you
point. Good
watch-
point.
make you forget-
Good point.
See, that's why I like Anita on, because she's like into the scientific part of it too, and she can give good insight. I
Well,
can just mention things and she can clarify it.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think they make these movies like Men in Black to hide the truth that's out there?
Yeah. And I had my father-in-law at one point, he was in Germany, and I've seen his military medical records. They are blacked out. I'm talking, it's no joke. They are blacked out, and the originals are nowhere to be found. He was in Germany, and there was he said all he remembers is like a boom, but not like an explosion, just like a little boom in front of him. Everything went black. He woke up a week and a half later, had no clue what went on. And that's where the records are blacked out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Just seems like a lot of the science fiction shows and movies are made just to throw you off.
Or
Yeah.
they make you think,
But-
oh shit, this happened. Like, this is actually happening.
Or just to gauge people's interest in that technology as well. How they would
Right.
react.
If you look at a show like, when you look at a show like, especially like the original Star Trek from the late 60s, it's like, it was really one of those shows that not only was ahead of its time, but like you mentioned, Brad, about the somewhat tablets that they had, which, became kind of a source of reality. It was one of those things that if you asked someone 50 years ago that, how awesome would it be to have something like that, you would be laughed at immediately. Like, that's impossible. That could never. And here we are half a century later, and that so-called thing that we used to laugh at back then has now officially become a reality.
Well, that's like in high school. I had actually, for one of my tech classes, drawn up a watch phone. My teacher told me that was the stupidest idea ever. And 6 years later, they came out with the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, Donald.
Don's got one. Don's got one.
Yep. I got one.
Anita, let me know when you're doing it. I'll be glad to go.
Hey, Donald, on your comment, I think you are getting so old that you forgot to put the word remember.
These days, I don't need it. I can't. Oh. I can't even defend you there, bud.
Anything.
All right, Don. Donald is like my brother. So he
Donald,
doesn't
Put this
like
up on
that.
Anthony. Just
I'll defend Donald.
Okay.
Eileen, read between the lines.
Anthony, yes,
You can't use my saying.
you're right. That was on Mothman thing. It was on what is
Yep.
that village? Shit. Nick, what is that
Point
village?
Pleasant.
Yes. That's
Point
where the
Pleasant.
Men in Black
Yeah.
showed up. Yes, thank you. I was watching all of them in succession there, and I couldn't remember what was what. Yes, it was the Mothman thing.
I don't care about the flying
See?
cars, Donald.
Yeah.
I'm overboard.
Yeah, like, hey, Donald. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Flying Cars 2 because Back to the Future Part 2 lied to us.
Yeah. You know what? My dad actually, he just told me this yesterday that, when he was younger, this is actually another sci-fi themed show. he was thinking that when they grew up, they all thought they were gonna, ride flying cars, not necessarily from some of these other shows, but growing up in the 60s and early 70s, they watched a lot of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and one of those obviously was the Jetsons. Yeah, so they were thinking that back then, because again, you're talking well over half the 20th century had passed. He was thinking back then that we would have them by 2000. Well, here we are in 2022, and we still don't have those flying cars.
Hey, it would
Send me
cost
the
too
info,
much
Anita.
now. We're just focused on, I guess, electric cars now.
Yeah.
Nick, your dad has to be close to 50.
He's around.
Couple years older. He's in his 60s.
That's and that's not too much different, because I grew up on those same cartoons, and I usually don't say this on mine, but whatever. I'm 48, so it's like we grew up on the same cartoons, the same premise that cars are going to be flying.
Yep. And he's mentioning George Jetson, and pretty sure it's not the best idea to have like exercise equipment on the outside of the building.
Meet George Jetson.
And here's the thing about those really high.
Hey, Robert White from Australia is watching. Yeah, there are flying cars. It's unaffordable. Yeah.
But
we
those
do have
high-rise
hovercraft.
apartments, has anybody looked at the government's plan on, it's called Agenda 2022. Start with Agenda
No,
2020
I never heard of it.
and keep going.
So
Agenda 2022 talks about, and they're doing this in Canada, but it's for here. They talk about making zones where people can live, and then high rises where people can actually live. But the zones that they cannot live in are government regulated. You can't even drive through them anymore. That's what
It
they're
reminds
talking
me of
about
that movie
doing with
In
it.
Time, where all the zones were different. You had to be so rich to get to the next zone.
Yes,
Yep.
and some of them are just government regulated. You cannot go through them unless you have a government pass, like, if it was Area 51. Well, that's okay. That's why they're doing. We're gonna get the show banned if I say it, but anyway,
I might have one for you that might ban it.
some
Yeah,
kind of control
some
of
boy bands
the
are about to show up.
population. But anyway,
Adrian, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
so if that happens, they're talking about, like, I used to live in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Carlsbad Caverns is going to be nothing but government. They can hide out in there. There could be an explosion, anything. Not going to hurt you. You ever been in Carlsbad Caverns? That shit goes on forever.
Yeah.
You're not going to get hurt about any radiation there.
So, you were talking about the stuff that you read where things were redacted and all that.
Uh-huh.
So, as most everybody knows, my father-in-law passed away earlier this year, and we were going through his things. My husband was so mad. We found out that my father-in-law, I don't know if anybody knows, Skunk Works. He was there. We found some stuff, but of course we didn't find any good stuff. But yeah, he was a part of a lot of that stuff.
And he didn't talk about it.
Mm-mm. Never knew until we were going through. And he just had a little bit of memorabilia, but nothing that gave anything away. We were digging at that point, boy. We were looking at every single piece of paper we could find.
Well, and that's the thing. They don't talk about it, but some of the things, do they really remember? I don't know. Other things, maybe they're so traumatic, that they're not going to talk about it. But some of the ones that do, like I had a video, and it went clear back from Reagan. And anyway, how I got the video is not even important. Anybody can get it, but you have to know how to get it. But it's people on their deathbed from the CIA talking and saying, you know what? Normally, I'd have been killed for saying this.
But I'm dying anyway.
I'm dying. I don't give a shit. And I think people need to know. And they're bringing out these secrets like you're going, what?
Right. But
I don't
here's the
trust the
thing.
government anymore at all.
some people still will not tell those secrets because just knowing them can put their loved ones in danger.
Right.
Because
And
trust
that
me, if I would
person-
have known, if I would have seen that paperwork or my husband before my father-in-law passed away,
Right.
we would have probably been asking questions, and he probably wouldn't have told us.
Right. And see, that's the thing with my father-in-law. I don't know what he's seen. We don't talk about it. We don't ask. I am going through a bunch of paperwork, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I don't ask questions.
Well, it's like there's some journals from the people from the Roswell crash that are still encrypted. They can't decode them.
I lived in Roswell. I lived an hour from Roswell. I'm still not convinced on that bullshit. Thank you. No, baby, it's fine. Thank you.
No mustard.
So, Nick.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
want to
yeah. I was gonna. So Eileen sent me the pictures. So I'm gonna.
Adrian hasn't seen
You guys ready for
Is she
this?
dressed? Is she dressed in these pictures?
Yeah, she is. She's stressed. Okay. So here they are. She took 2 pictures.
Aww.
Oh,
Oh, how
So
sweet.
cool.
so
Really.
cute. Very cute.
And then here's whoops, wrong side. Here's the other one.
Aw.
He's awesome. I think the world of that man.
Will you blow this whistle for me? Oh God, I'm not even gonna say it.
Will you blow my whistle?
That makes you a true whistleblower, then.
And doesn't that go back to like, I don't know, snitches get stitches type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, look
Let's
at
go
Jeremy.
13 Yes. Oh yes. What did Jerry?
I do
It
remember
only
that.
has 2 tabs open.
Jeez, Nick, I have more tabs open than you do.
Yeah, I got 5.
You know
I
what?
don't do that shit.
You know I'm gonna have. Well, you know what? Now I'm gonna have to start opening a lot more tabs up because he mentioned that.
I only
But
have
yes,
one because then we'll start hearing all the noises in the background. Y'all, all these group chats we're in, I have to mute them, and that's because I don't ever really read them. Because
Me
I'll
too.
be at work and you'll hear bing, 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 bing,
Yep.
bing. I'm like, mute.
Mhm.
What the soda cans don't count? The hell is
What?
she talking about? What? But no, I got to go back to what Jeremy's saying though. Yes, we had a guest a few months ago on 13th Dimension, and that was a good show that we had him on.
I
He
bet.
really.
Who was it?
That was man, I forgot. Jeremy, remind me who that was. He lived out in the UK.
I think I know who it is, but I
Yeah.
don't want to say it without being, because I don't want to say somebody's name that it really wasn't.
Yeah.
That
You
was
know,
a good
he's-
show.
So, Don,
Yes.
now have you ever been down south?
In the southern states, oh yeah, I've been to Texas because that's where my college girlfriend lived at. And let's see, there was a time where I had actually drove all across southern states. Like last year, I drove through Texas, I drove through Phoenix, I drove through Arkansas,
What was
Florida.
that job you had?
Yeah, that previous job that I did. Yeah.
And I was calling you every few hours just to make sure you were okay because you were driving all the way. You were driving by yourself.
Everybody was calling me over a course of every 3 hours.
That's what I do to Jeremy when he does that bullshit.
It
I
was
will warn you, Don. Do not video chat with Nick. Do not video chat with Nick while you are driving.
I never video chat with anybody while I'm driving. That's absurd.
Or while he's driving. He will get.
Yeah.
Well, Nick
And
is usually
also-
passed out when he's in the car.
I basically would call him like. Well, no, I was gonna say was I usually I did check like I would call him like later in the evening or whatever because there were times like when I knew that he was really out of state driving by himself. It was one of the few moments where I was like, should probably go check on him just to make sure he's doing okay down there.
Yeah, I was just driving through deserts with the only thing keeping my sanity was listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks, Stephen King audiobooks mostly. And
Look, there was one time
Then he
I
went
was
through
driving.
swamps.
I was
Oh, yeah.
driving by myself in the middle of the night, and I was talking to someone trying to stay awake. And I will tell y'all if you are sending a voice clip to someone, please make sure your phone is secure in the phone holder, because in the middle of it, I went, oh crap! And about that time, my phone fell, and when it fell, it stopped the recording, and then it fell like underneath my seat. So they thought something had happened to me until I could finally get to a gas station to get my phone out from underneath my seat.
Oh yeah, I hate when that happens. When the phone falls and it goes under your seat, and you like,
I
try to
know.
dig around.
It
you know, it's-
sucks.
oh yeah, that's happened to me like more times than I'd like.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy, thank you. That was Gary Hesseltine. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. He's the VP of International Coalition of Extraterrestrial Research. I do remember actually earlier this year. I think he said he was actually supposed to be heading down to. I think it was somewhere down in South America. I think it might have been Brazil for some UFO event. I remember he told us about something like that. Oh,
Yeah, it was
I said it
Brazil.
right. Good. The last name. Thanks, Jeremy.
Well, Don,
Yeah,
if you're
Brazil.
ever in
Yeah, he said.
Mississippi,
I don't know if he's already gone or not, but
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Eileen.
I was
No,
telling
I'm
Don,
done. You
if
can go ahead and say what you're.
if you're ever in Mississippi, I'll make you some good fried chicken.
Looking forward to it. I
If
hear.
you're ever in Mississippi, don't stop
Well-
because she'll keep you in her basement.
We don't have basement.
I was gonna say, Don, didn't you drive through Mississippi at one point during one of your your business?
Yes, I
trips?
did. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's the southern states, they're good states.
Well, when you come to Colorado, there's a haunted house here. I live in it. You can come check it out.
Nice. I haven't been in Colorado as much as I've flown over it on the way back from my cousin's wedding.
Yes.
On the way back from my cousin's wedding in LA, I flew over Colorado at one point, and the mountains there were just absolutely stunning.
Hold on, Jeremy, that does not sound right.
Don, beware. She has a history of grabbing things. And you know what? I have to agree with Jeremy on that because, Don, when I got to meet Eileen for the first time in person down in Kansas last
Leave
year.
it at that. Leave it at that.
I was just gonna say I learned that the hard way.
Leave it at that.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, Don says we got sheds. Yeah, we'll put you in sheds, and they got a lot of chainsaws and all in them. So
Oh my god!
we'll stick you in the shed.
So
You need
yeah,
basements up there.
Leatherface could be
Shit,
rolling
you
around.
get tornadoes.
Storm cellars.
Yeah. So sheds with chainsaws. Yeah, Leatherface could be roaming around. Nick, you never know.
Eileen, did you grab him twice? Shame on you.
I caught him. I
Yes,
caught
he
Jeremy.
did. Yeah, I remember Jeremy telling me that. And of course, also, I always have to bring it up. She also tried taking my Jack Skellington cup.
Speaking of, Nick,
Oh,
I got something for my daughter that you'll like, Nick. I got her some new socks.
Oh, jeez.
oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
So I know what to go steal from his daughter.
Good luck with that.
We don't go stealing from kids, Eileen.
I'll give her a candy bar.
Dude,
With
If
all the
you're
weapons
not-
we're
Hey,
making
children-
forward, good luck.
you should
I'll
know
give her a
children
candy
are
bar.
innocent.
She's going to stab you, Eileen.
I'll give her a candy bar. She'll be good.
Oh man.
Be careful
She's the
what
only
you
kid
wish
I know
for,
that
Eileen.
trades her candy at school for broccoli.
For broccoli?
Okay, I'll give her broccoli.
That's
Nothing
quite an
wrong with that.
imaginary. That's quite an interesting trade.
That's what I said.
Don-
That's my kid.
Jeremy has a serious question for you, Don. All genres including, what movie do you consider the perfect movie? Direction, casting, acting, editing, scoring, all.
I don't
of
know
it.
that there's such thing.
Great question. One of them is definitely. I got just the thing in mind.
he always has something.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. If only Ricky was on, he would tell you about Jenny.
Yeah, Bubblegum Shrimp is a household name. Oh yeah, I mean, winner of 6 Oscars, including it won Best Picture. Had amazing cast with Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise. This is like the one film you cannot go wrong with. Excellent directing, excellent acting, editing, music, everything. They just about nailed it.
Night,
It is a good
Anita.
show.
What about you, Nick?
We already know that movie, Jeremy. Yes, with the mouse. Good night, Anita. Have a good night. Had to argue
Anita,
with
send me
hard
the
to
info
argue with Forrest.
on your next event.
Over Jeremy, it's JFK.
That's another great one.
Anthony,
For me, it had to be Lord of the Rings.
what I'm going to tell you is we hear
Larry's amazing.
sounds, and at our wedding there was every dead ancestor here, and I had 2 mediums that were here at our wedding, and yeah, it was. I was paying no attention to any of it, but they did. I was too busy getting married.
Really busy that day.
She's too busy
Brad,
stealing the soul.
Brad, Brad. You were mentioning Lord of the Rings. I'm like my favorite out of those is Return of the King. Like
That is
that's
the
another.
best one.
That's on par with this, definitely. And it's also one of 3 films that have won 11 Oscars total, including Best Picture. Only 3 films have done that: Return of the King, Ben-Hur, and Titanic.
Titanic.
Her.
I love that
So-
one. What the hell was
So,
that?
Brad, I was going to answer your question about what's my view on like what's the best movie of all things.
The Nest.
What?
The Nest.
The Nest? What are you talking about? I
Don't.
don't even think I want to know.
You don't.
I know.
Man, what kind of
I am no tree. I am an ant.
Oh man, what movie is so perfect to me? I've seen so many of them. I'm gonna have to get back to you.
I really had to think
Don
about it.
said, "Oh, what the hell?" I got Don interested on slot machines. Well, one of the movie locations we work on. Yes, Buffalo. You guys ever played the
Buffalo.
slot game of Buffalo? It's a slot machine game.
Oh.
It's really popular at casinos.
Okay.
So, and it's been like an ongoing tradition with me and Tom, where if there's like a casino nearby, or if the hotel like has, or the event where the con is being held has like slot machines, I'm always walking around saying, "Okay, I need to find Buffalo here because it's really the only one I can understand if you're winning or losing." And well, last time I lost, but damn it, Tom, he won so much, and I was so angry.
Oh man.
Don, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Crow casting for the new Crow movie?
The Crow? Oh yeah, like they were struggling a lot with coming up with someone for the Crow. First, they were like thinking of Mark Wahlberg, and then Jason Momoa, and but like who was it again that's supposed to be the Crow? It's been
The one that played it.
Oh yeah, that's right, Bill Skarsgård. Yes,
Yep.
yeah, like I think they announced that recently. I just didn't see who it was, but yeah, Bill Skarsgård. He could be interesting as the Crow. I mean, he's proven himself that he can act pretty well with makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
back when he was playing Pennywise, the dancing clown. Yes,
Hey,
I can.
Adrian,
Yes,
Yeah.
I can do voices.
I got something to show you. You ready?
Oh, God.
Sure.
Oh no!
Hold
Oh no!
Hide.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Aw.
Hi, baby. What you doing?
Hey, Kalani.
Hey, little guy.
Hey,
Hi.
what's going on, huh? Are you hungry? Or are you eating something right now?
She just got through eating. Now she got some juice.
Oh, she was blowing kisses, I think.
Can you blow a kiss? Mwah. Blow kissies. Oh, okay. Go back to mama.
She says, I did it by myself. I don't need help.
Hey, actor with the best filmography.
Oh yeah. So
I had to show her off for a second.
oh yeah,
Beautiful.
she's cute.
She's 2.
Too cute.
And who is that to you?
My granddaughter.
Okay.
Oh, I got a nephew's about to turn 2 as well. So
That's
got
a terrible age.
No, that's a good age before they can talk.
No, they're assholes before they can talk. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Okay, let's see.
Sorry, I
Jeremy-
got off subject.
Yeah. Oh, Jeremy's asking. Okay, actor with the best filmography. One of the actors with the best filmography in my book, and I've said this on my podcast before, is English actor Christopher Lee.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he has been like done
Done everything.
more movies than many can think of. Like he's Saruman in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He's played Scaramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun, the ninth James Bond film. He has been in Lord Summersisle in Wicker Man. He's Count Dooku in Star Wars. He's
Yeah.
Done the Hammer horror films.
Yeah,
with Peter Cushing.
the list goes on. He's been acting practically his entire life up until his death. And
Yep.
that's what I admired about the guy. He was in his 90s and still kept acting. Didn't let anything hold him back, not even his age.
Hasn't he
Yeah.
done every genre though too?
He's starting
He's-
practically almost every
He's
genre.
done a lot of them. Yeah.
It's just a number, guys. Don't.
yeah.
Yeah, it's only a number.
Which Crow movie is the best of them? First
Which
one.
Crow movie was best of them? The best of them.
Salvation was good.
So yeah,
Now,
Salvation was
Tom,
all right.
I gotta say that. Now, Tom, I just gotta say this. Yeah, Tom, I was with you when we saw Gone with the Wind. Man, was that movie long as hell. It was great,
I've never
but
seen it.
Good.
my God,
See now, y'all.
well, it's
y'all
good,
should've-
but it is like it's like a 4-hour movie.
My
It is.
favorite. Everybody makes fun of me because my favorite movies are My Fair Lady and Roman Holiday.
I
don't
thought you
know
were going to say
anything about
Jaws
either
the
one of
Revenge.
Audrey Hepburn.
How about the Notebook?
Oh yeah.
See, I love Audrey Hepburn.
Yes,
The
we.
Notebook
Oh,
is
I got to ask you that. Wait, I got to ask you that, Eileen, because there is one Audrey Hepburn film that I it's probably my favorite one. Did you ever see her in Wait Until Dark?
I'd have to go back and look. It's been a hot minute.
Oh, that's one of the best.
The only
Yes,
thing
we
I
had
don't-
Tom.
The only thing I don't like about My Fair Lady is
Princess Bride.
just I mean, I don't know. There's just what's her name? It's sticking that actually did the singing in some of it. I can't remember her name. And
He had done metal records.
Hmm.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Another
See,
good
that's-
movie.
my
Great.
my son Brandon is actually named after Brandon Lee.
Oh yeah, Brendan Lee. He's wow. Yeah.
Everybody thought because he was born in 95 that it was Brandon from 90210. I was like, nope, he was named after Brandon Lee.
Oh yeah. When I think about Brendan Lee, I did that just wow, really gets to me. Like thinking about Brendan Lee, thinking about what happened on set of The Crow.
Yep.
Man.
And didn't they call that like the family curse? We were talking about that earlier today.
That
Like-
because Bruce Lee, yeah.
Yeah. Like there was a few of them that died unexpectedly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Driving Miss
it,
Daisy, I love Anthony. How did you?
Isn't it every time Adrian goes somewhere driving Miss Daisy?
See, like Morgan
How did
Freeman.
you know, Anthony, about seeing shadow people? How did you know that? It's funny because there's always voices back here first thing in the morning that are whispering.
We've been hearing whispering in our house.
Oh, that was me.
Music. Jeremy, fix your phone.
You know, why does phones make up words all of a sudden? Like they're not even words. How is the phone putting stuff down? I mean, I'll be sending something. I'm like, wait, that's not even a word. How would you even pick that?
Anthony, you're damn good if you saw that go across my background because I got a green screen on.
No curse, just tragic deaths. Yeah. Very tragic.
That's what Donald's gonna have one day.
If you
I'm
find
sorry.
out who's back here, let me know, please.
Oh, what? Let's see. One classic horror movie many never mention is Count Yorga. Vampire.
I saw that. I saw that on Svengoolie.
Yep, Svengoolie. I figured he was showing it.
I spent too much time in the country riding horses because I have not seen half of this shit.
Are you
TV
a
will not go on.
You know, I still don't have cable. Everything I do is on I've got internet, but I don't have cable.
You know, I wished I didn't. After this, I saw this last bill said $220. I said, "What the fuck? Are you
Well,
kidding me?"
nowadays it doesn't pay to cut the cord because you have to. Everything is buy this app, buy this app, buy this app.
By the time you buy all the apps, you're paying more than cable.
Exactly. I'm like, look, at my other house,
Yeah,
we don't
Jeremy.
have internet. We don't have internet
Just
or
got the
cable.
link.
I had to go back to watching DVDs.
So he just sent me the link showing that he did music for, let's see, Revelation, Sword by the Cross, Omens of Death. Huh, I'll be damned. He actually did do
that's
it.
right.
A couple of days ago that I have a Spanish version.
The
of
Spanish
Dracula.
version of
It was
Dracula.
filmed the same time as the regular Dracula.
But can you understand it, Jeremy?
Did you guys ever hear how that all put together? The Spanish version. Did you guys hear how the whole process was put into it? So when they made the original 1931 version with Bela Lugosi in it, they actually shared the studio with another production company because it turns out that I guess there was a film company in Mexico. They wanted to make their own version of Dracula. So instead of creating two different, studios, they ended up sharing the same studio. So everything you see in both movies is exactly the same. But what's even more interesting is during the day they would film the American version, and then at night they would film the Mexican version. So they shot it over a course, literally at the same time at different periods.
Hey,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Donald, that's only because you are a B horror movie.
Yeah, hang on. One second. I had to check something. Sorry. Yeah. What did you say?
Oh, I was just telling Donald that he is a B horror movie.
Yeah, the B horror ones, especially the ones in the 50s, were good stuff.
Please.
Are you a Marvel fan?
I can't stop trusting you.
Marvel? Yes. Love the MCU.
Do you see who's coming in the new Deadpool?
Wolverine? Yes.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I thought he was done with that. I'm just
Yeah.
thrilled that he's back.
See, that's another one. My youngest kid is named after Wolverine. His name's Logan.
Logan. Nice. Awesome.
And okay, I'm gonna ask y'all this question. Have y'all ever read the book Darkness at Sethanon or Darkness at Sethanon?
No.
Robert Feist.
As you said, Eileen, I don't know how to read, so
I know. That's why I wasn't asking you. I was asking the smart ones.
she's not in her chair right now.
So my middle son is named Sethanon after that book. And the author actually reached out one time. I guess he had Googled the names or something, and he's like, tell your son I am so sorry because he is the only one ever named Sethanon. But yeah, y'all should check out Robert Feist. But it's this particular book is Darkness of Sethanon.
I'll have to check it out, definitely.
Yeah.
Tom says loves the 70s horror movies when they came out. Lots of them have the stars appearing in person to promote them. Sorry, Brian, what were you going to say? I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna ask Don, is there a genre of movies you don't watch, or are you like me and you just watch it? You watch everything?
I just watch a little bit of everything. I would say if there's one that I watch the least is Western.
Yeah.
I don't watch too many of them. There are some neo-Western. Technically, Logan is the last Wolverine movie. Technically, that's a neo-Western. So, yeah.
I'll watch anything at least once.
Yeah. The one that I dislike the most is Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
I think what was it? How to Million Ways to Die. What's that one with Seth MacFarlane?
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, it was pretty wow. Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, is Paul your
You
dad?
know what? There is one movie, Don. There is one movie that has kind of a. Oh yeah, what's this? Yeah, it's my dad.
Hey, Dad.
And one thing of a movie within the. And one thing of a
You
movie
know-
with the horror genre that no one die. I recently
I can't.
discussed this with me.
I can't.
Who
Yes,
knows
I do.
one movie?
There's one.
Don, you
it-
take the first one.
There is one called April Fool's Day where literally nobody died at all.
Yep. You think
Okay.
everyone died, but nope.
Nope, it was all a big prank.
What about you, Nick? Which one did you say?
Oh man, what movie? See, I actually know a couple of them. Which one can I think of right now? Here, come back to me. Come back to me. You guys answer while I'm thinking this over.
See, I'm just
I don't know
astounded
one.
that it just amazes me that y'all can even remember
No, not
all
the
these
room.
movies. I mean, it is just. I mean, I sit there and think about one of my other, again, laugh at me all you want. Sweet Home Alabama. I'm a chick. My chick.
That's a
I
good
still love
movie.
my chick flicks,
It's a good movie. Yeah.
and I still can't tell you everything that happened in that movie, and I've seen that movie like a million times.
Is it the blonde hair?
I don't know. It's not really blonde. It's kind of gray covered.
That's why you can't remember a thing. All the
There
grays.
you go.
Boarding House, worst horror movie ever made. You
See,
know that one, Don?
No,
Boarding
any
House?
of these.
No, like a lot of people say a worst horror film. Like one of the worst is what was it called? Manos Hands of Fate. A lot of people saying that's notoriously bad, but I think one of the worst horror films I've ever seen was called. I mentioned this to you before, Nick, on a podcast on the Fear Fans podcast when we were talking about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. One of the worst horror films that I've seen definitely is Pinata Survival Island.
See, where are y'all
Don?
finding all these?
Yeah, I'm
It
like, I've never heard of it.
Don,
was-
you know what I was thinking you were going to say? I thought you were going to bring up the other movie that's really bad, The Bye Bye Man.
No, it's worse than Bye Bye Man. Yeah, it's a movie that like Pinata Survival Island. I saw it on AMC when they had like horror movies every Friday. Like I saw that when I was like 10, and it's literally about a killer pinata that's offing a bunch of college students. Yeah, I can't make that up. Like it's as stupid and ridiculous as it sounds.
Someone had to be high, because where in your brain do you think of that? They were in Colorado and got high.
Hey, at least they had original ideas. Nowadays, it's all nothing but remakes.
We're all happy here in Colorado. I don't know what to tell you.
Happy
Yeah,
and
the
hungry.
haunting, no, Tom, that depends on which version you're talking about, the haunting.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. Yep. Attack of the Puppet People. That's why I didn't watch that with you, Dad. So yeah, everyone was just fine. They were showing that too on Svengoolie.
What about what's that one? Shit.
One hell of
The
a
Sixth
Christmas
Sense.
horse movie.
The
Sixth
Sense.
Sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Sixth Sense is
Already
amazing.
dead. So it's not like
But
he
he
died
did
when the movie was
die.
already dead.
But he did die.
Yep,
But he
one
was
of the
already
biggest.
dead when the movie started. That doesn't
Yep.
count.
He was already dead. He was a
dead.
ghost.
Yep.
No, he died at
No,
the beginning
he
of the
died
movie.
before. Yeah. They did not show him dying there. The movie started because he died.
I thought it started. I have to go back and rewatch. I thought it started because I thought I don't know.
No, the
I
whole
thought
time he thought he was
survived.
alive. And then at the end it shows he was dead the whole time.
Oh. Oh my God! Killer Tomatoes.
Killer
I haven't
Tomatoes.
even seen that movie yet.
I do know that one.
I've never seen that one, to be honest with you. There's actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this up now and Don knows this already, and I need to show him this too. There's one movie that even my parents are shocked that I haven't seen. It was on, again, recently, just a few nights ago on Svengoolie. That was the movie Trilogy of Terror.
I need to see that.
Adrian?
You haven't seen it either, Adrian?
Nope.
Eileen? Brad? What about... None of us have seen Trilogy of
But
Terror.
hold on. To
What is it
Brad's
called?
defense,
Trilogy of Terror came out in the mid 70s. I think it was 1975. It stars Karen Black.
I wasn't born. Just
What the hell?
didn't Brad just watch Jaws? Brad, didn't you just watch Jaws recently?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't ask Brad much of anything.
You know what? You know what movies I like? The Critter movies.
Critters.
Oh, Critter.
Yeah, I like the first one mostly, but the third one was interesting because it featured Leonardo DiCaprio.
See, I'm just going to say this because I really don't know much about it. If you guys do want to check out this movie that's called Trilogy of Terror, is that it's exactly what you would think of it is. It's like, it's an anthology film. So, you think of, the Creep Show movies, Tales from the Crypt, well, Trilogy of Terror, it was one of the first, and it certainly is one of the best. It has, again, three stories. Each of them start. Yeah, well, that's what I was about to get to. Each of them have. Each story has Karen Black in a different role, and what I'm told from everyone is that nobody ever remembers the first two stories. Nobody. If you talk to anyone who's seen Trilogy of Terror, they will always tell you about that third and final story. It's with a killer. It's one of the first killer doll movies. So, Jeremy, if you haven't seen it, you need to see this one too.
Now you brought something up.
Creepy.
One of my favorite shows was Tales from the Crypt.
Yep,
love it.
Tales from the Crypt was awesome, but this was one of the this was one of the first predating trilogy. I mean, Tales from the Crypt. It was one of the first anthology films, and it was also made for television. It wasn't released theatrically.
See, one thing I love about
it was different.
The one thing I love about the older, scarier movies was I can't do blood and guts. I really can't. The older ones made you realize what was going on without showing you everything. Nowadays, the movies are more, I think you're kind of getting back out of it, but there was that era where everything had to be just so gory. And it's not that the gore grosses me out or anything, but like when you see someone, just for an instance, putting a needle in an eyeball, I like, oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. I can feel that pain of whatever's going on, and that bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah, there's one older movie that I do have that has something similar to that.
What movie is that, Don? Oh, yes, Zombie. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, this is like like there was actually one scene where a woman has like a piece of wood stabbed into her eye as she's like being pulled in front by a zombie through a window.
Yeah, like slow.
It is it's an Italian film, so yeah. When Italy wants to get brutal with their movies, they really get brutal.
Yeah, it's something about I'd rather mentally know something's going on than physically see it.
Oh yeah, and don't get me started on, and don't get me started on Peter Jackson's Dead Alive.
Oh my God, Don! I got to put this up really quickly for Don. That you just kind of read someone else's mind, Don. Donald just said, "Oh, Eileen, you should watch Bad Taste," which was also by Peter Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Anything Donald recommends me watch, my answer will be no.
Anthony,
okay, so this.
Nick, go back to Anthony's comment real quick. That's really strange that he says that.
I don't know
the
why
Beetlejuice movie. I think he's talking about nobody died. There was dead people in it, but they were dead when it started too.
Well,
I gotta show. I just want to
brother.
show. Yeah, I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, I do. I do, and he actually he's tuning in. He knows.
So my dad, he just, you know what, Dad? I was just telling them about this. You're gonna be shocked too. None of these people have seen Trilogy of Terror either. So yeah, he said he hasn't seen it since it first came out. Completely forgot about the first two chapters, but the third chapter he feels like he just saw the day before because it deals with a killer doll. It's called the Zuni doll. It's like this.
It looks.
I don't know if it's like a South American or African doll, but it's really creepy with the effects that they use.
It looks like a voodoo doll.
It's like a
head shrunken doll.
Yeah, it kind of. I can't tell if it's a doll. It looks like from South America or Africa. It's one of. It just has the appearance.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Can you hear me? You guys good?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're frozen, Nick.
He was cutting out real bad right before that.
Now, would you say, Don, that scary movies nowadays are more shock value than actual scare?
For the most part, yeah. A lot of them are. Yeah, I mean,
you can't beat the old scary movies.
Oh yeah, like old scary movies knew how to build up all kinds of suspense and because they were very limited on what they could show until then. There came across. Then there were films that challenged that really tried to take blood and gore to the whole new levels.
Wait, Nick's doubled.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Your clone is logging on.
It's your
Oh,
alien.
wait, there it goes.
There we go.
It's your alter ego. It's trying to take over.
Blood Guts, Tremors, Evil Dead. Yeah.
Tremors is one of my favorite series.
Yeah, Tremors is good.
Yeah.
Tom said he just bought the 4K version of the 1978 film version of Dawn of the Dead.
Nice.
Classic movie.
Yes.
Children in
Nick?
the Attic.
Nick, I actually haven't gonna have to log off in a few minutes though, because I got to get up early tomorrow.
I
Oh,
actually
okay.
do too.
Hey, if
That's-
everybody's doing it, I can go to bed early. I'm good.
You know what? I'm just going to say this quickly for Tom. Yes, you do see the doll again. They said about 20 years later, they did make a sequel for Trilogy of Terror, and I was told the evil doll is back in the second one.
Ooh, now I gotta
So-
watch Trilogy of Terror.
We're going to have to... Don, I got... Svengoolie just showed it a few nights ago. I have it recorded, so we'll watch it.
Nice. Yeah, I should mention, Nick. I recently saw another film, a zombie film, somewhat. It's by David Cronenberg, the man who directed The Fly. It's called Rabid. Nick? Oh, he's all off
Then we
again.
lost Nick again.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Don, I will say you are a very interesting man. So definitely send me a Facebook friends request, and I'd
Sorry,
like to
guys.
follow you a little bit. And
All right.
What
Well,
the
so-
hell?
go to bed, Nick. Tell everybody where they can find you. Don.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, yes. You can find me like on Facebook. Just type in the name Don Elmi, and also my YouTube channel. You type in Don Elmi, and you'll know my channel when you see this. When you see this this logo here.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah, my first initial. It's my. Yeah, this was my emblem that I made years ago, like right after grade school. My brother-in-law made this for me when I started a groomsman at my sister's wedding. You know, just doing my part in welcoming a good man to the family.
That's awesome.
They have a Trilogy of Terror. It says on Amazon Prime Video, so I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, it's not that long of a film. I heard it's like about an hour and 10 minutes because again, it was originally made for television. So, but anyways, yeah, if you guys want to end early, I'm completely fine with that because in fact, as soon as I get off here, I actually got to start practicing for my presentation that's coming up this upcoming Saturday, which I am so nervous about. It's not even funny.
You'll do fine.
You got this, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's no different than being on here.
Yeah. Come on,
Well,
man.
I have stage fright. That's the problem. So,
All right. Hey, hold on.
Underwear.
I got 2 nights to practice.
I've got an idea. Is Daddy going to be there? Is your dad going to be there?
Both of my parents are going to be there.
Okay. So what about
Yeah.
if he puts us all
They're both going to be
on
there.
video chat, and then you could try your best, or put us, mute us, obviously. If you're gonna have are you gonna have a podium or anything?
I'm not sure what the whole ordeal is. So the way how this is gonna work is I'm actually gonna be using 2 laptops because the first one obviously will be mine, which I'll be presenting the slideshow with, and then the second one will be the one that I'll be recording because there's no way I'm going to be able to record it, up close like I usually do with my own show. So that's how I'm kind of operating. But as far as podiums, tables go, I'm not entirely sure.
How about they just put us all on there, and just when you need to look down to talk to someone, just talk to us.
The night before, Nick, watch The Nest. Then you won't have to worry about public speaking.
The Nest. Yeah.
Good night, Donald. Thanks for tuning in. Tom, what? I died 4 times in the last movie he did. Fangs versus Spurs. Oh, good movie, but I didn't know about that, Tom. Now I'll have to wait another night.
Yeah, I only died in one film that I was in.
Okay, so I didn't die in any, so I have nothing to say about that.
Me.
All right, y'all.
I was shot.
I'm gonna die in my bed soon.
No,
That's the hard-
can't do
sleep.
that.
Sleep. I'll wake up, but I'll come back to life. I'll be a zombie tomorrow.
Yep.
We can do that.
But
All right,
Eileen,
well,
I'll take that into consideration though about having
Thank
you
you
guys
for all
on
that.
for it.
All right,
You'll do
guys.
it for me, Nick.
All right, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah, but no, seriously, but all right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna get off here again. I'll take the idea, Eileen. Because we got 2 nights to think about it. Make sure, of course, tune in this upcoming Saturday at 1:00 Central Time for my Nick Files special in front of an audience at the Chicago Paranormal Convention. And well, I'll see some of you guys later this Saturday. So you guys all have a great night.
Nice meeting you,
Take care,
Don.
Nick.
Bye,
Yeah,
y'all.
Good night, guys.
See you. Bye.
Good night.